Step inside the TCM Vault to discover a treasure trove of classic films available on DVD for the first time ever. Now more than 800 titles from the Warner Archive Collection can be found at tcm.com/vault. Exciting new releases to the Vault include an amazing collection of rare titles like The Outriders, starring Joel McCrea, Little Nellie Kelly with Judy Garland, Yolanda and the Thief starring Fred Astaire, and many more. These one-of-a-kind collector's items are a must for the serious movie lover, and they can be yours for as low as $19.99 each plus shipping. Add these gems to your own film library today by visiting the TCM Vault Collection at tcm.com/vault.
Hey there, welcome to TCM. I'm Ben Mankiewicz. In 1955, filmmaker Delbert Mann won universal acclaim, winning a Best Director Oscar for Marty, which also won Best Picture. It told the story of an awkward middle-aged man who had pretty much resigned himself to a life alone, without marriage, without love. Up next, also from Delbert Mann, we have what you might consider the other side of Marty's coin, the story of a middle-aged woman, pretty much in the same emotional state, alone and convinced she's not going to change for the remainder of her life. No marriage, no love, until, like Marty, there's a flicker of hope. From 1964, it's a smart little romantic comedy, Dear Heart. Geraldine Page stars as Evie Jackson, middle-aged and very single. Evie has come to New York for a convention. At her hotel, she meets a salesman, that's Glenn Ford. Ford is engaged, but he makes a connection with Page, and they and we want to see how it all plays out. Geraldine Page is often called one of the greatest actresses of her generation, and Glenn Ford, if not the most talented, he was certainly among the best loved. He was a top 10 box office star for years. Together, Page and Ford have terrific chemistry. From 1964, also featuring Angela Lansbury and Richard Deacon, Dear Heart. Dear Heart is adapted from a short story, The Out-of-Towners, and that was the working title for the film. But composer Henry Mancini said later the title was changed when he and his collaborators created the song Dear Heart, which is rather beautiful. The song, written by Mancini, Jay Livingston, and Ray Evans, not only became the title of the movie, but was also nominated for a Best Song Oscar that year, losing out to Chim Chim Cheree from Mary Poppins. Andy Williams' version of Dear Heart also earned a Grammy nomination for Song of the Year. And since the Out-of-Towners title was never used, it was available a few years later when Neil Simon needed it for his story of an Ohio couple visiting New York, which turned into the wonderful Jack Lemmon, Sandy Dennis movie. Up next, another movie that earned Jay Livingston and Ray Evans a Best Song Oscar nomination. Stay with us.
Today on Turner Classic Movies, Debbie Reynolds looks after down pilot Leslie Nielsen in Tammy and the Bachelor. Then Barbra Streisand and Robert Redford are dreamers and lovers in The Way We Were. And Dirk Bogarde falls for a student in Accident. TCM puts the pieces together today.
Grace Kelly, Spencer Tracy,
Vincent Minnelli. Typical Hollywood story.
damn good actress.
You know, my skin's terribly delicate, and I don't dare expose it.
Jean Harlow was, I think, more beautiful off the screen than on. You didn't get the intense blue eyes and the delicate, peachy complexion. Her skin was almost unbelievable. It refracted light. It was gorgeous. She had a beautiful body. It wasn't skinny. It was sort of the way in the 20s women had a little more flesh round in the middle. She had beautiful hair, which of course they got platinum blonde. She was the first platinum blonde. It went with her. She looked very attractive with that.
Gee, that sounds swell to me.
Jean Harlow's voice can be heard in the talkies that she made, especially, I remember her in Dinner at 8.
You big crook, you pull a dirty deal and it ruins my social chances. Well, you can't get away with it.
Oh, go lay an egg.
It was a twangy voice, but it went with her personality somehow, at least her screen personality, because she acted the part of a rather sassy broad, a bit savvy. And actually, when you got her off the screen, that dropped. And you got this little girl, oh gosh, what am I going to do next look? She was exquisite, and of course she was so beautiful.
Star of the month, Jean Harlow's given plenty of scenery to feast on as a delightfully vulgar social climber in the classic comedy Dinner at 8, Tuesday at 8 p.m., only on Turner Classic Movies.
Perfect. 32 timeless films handpicked by the people who bring you Turner Classic Movies.
It gets me every time.
TCM presents Employee Picks, from cinematic masterpieces to lost treasures.
Why this movie? Why do you like it so much?
These movie fans will present the one unforgettable film that still inspires them today.
Great movie.
It's got a really wicked sense of humor.
Deliciously intense.
Mondays and Thursdays in March, visit TCM.com for a complete schedule. Uncut and commercial-free, only on Turner Classic Movies.
Turner Classic Movies and Warner Home Video present TCM's greatest classic legends collection. The best films from some of Hollywood's biggest icons are available in 3 phenomenal DVD collections.
Gee, that sounds swell to me.
With each set, get 4 great movies for one low price. Bombshell Jean Harlow lights up the screen in Dinner at 8. China Seas, Wife vs. Secretary, and Libeled Lady. Dashing swashbuckler Errol Flynn fights his way through the epic excitement of the Seahawk. The Adventures of Robin Hood, Captain Blood, and Adventures of Don Juan.
Isn't he charming?
And visionary director John Ford captures the Wild West in Cheyenne Autumn. Wagon Master, She Wore a Yellow Ribbon,
We must stop this war.
and 3 Godfathers. These unforgettable masterpieces are the perfect addition to every film lover's library.
This gets the blue ribbon.
TCM's greatest classic legends collection. Available now at tcm.com/shop and Barnes & Noble DVD locations.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Turner Classic Movies. I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Between 1957 and 67, Universal Studios released 4 movies about a beautiful young Southern girl named Tammy. Up next, we've got the first film in that popular Tammy series. It's Tammy and the Bachelor. Debbie Reynolds stars in the title role. She's Tammy, not the Bachelor. She's cute, she's blonde, she lives on a houseboat in Louisiana with her grandfather. When a plane crashes in the nearby swamp, Tammy rescues the pilot. He's the Bachelor, played by Leslie Nielsen, and love begins to blossom. Debbie Reynolds was 25 years old and pregnant with her daughter, Carrie, a former TCM Essentials host, when she was cast to play Tammy, a pert and perky teenager. But as you'll see shortly, Reynolds, who seemed eternally young, had no trouble convincing audiences she was a love-struck teen. Meanwhile, Leslie Nielsen was getting one of his first opportunities to play a romantic lead. Nielsen, who passed away last fall, became so well known for his deadpan comedy roles later in his life, it's easy to forget he was such a versatile actor. The cast also includes 3-time Oscar winner Walter Brennan and a familiar face to fans of classic movies, Fay Wray, the beauty who stopped King Kong dead in his tracks in one of her final big screen roles. From Universal Studios in 1957, here's the first of 4 Tammy movies, Tammy and the Bachelor.